Hey guys! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shaka and I welcome you to my channel. I'm so grateful that you guys are listening, subscribing, and commenting on my channel. I really appreciate the support. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about defending your mind against all of the crap that's always coming at it. We are living in a world, as you might imagine, which is filled with information. We're in a constant state of stimulation because of all the information, all the advertising, the marketing, and all this information in general just coming at us in bits and bytes. Right? It might be through, obviously, the internet that we go on, and we actually deliberately put ourselves into that mode, or it might be on TV when we're watching our favorite channel or our favorite TV series and an advertisement comes on, or it might be just when we're just walking around and there are billboards and advertisements or ads on TTC stands, or TTC is the word for Toronto's subway system, on the bus stands. You know, there's like ads everywhere and you'd be walking through and it's extremely hard to prevent all of these messages and information and advertisements from coming at you, right? But it is still our duty as an individual on this planet to protect ourselves from all of this madness. No one else is going to do that for us. It is our responsibility as an adult or as a mature human being or as an awakened individual to prevent all of this information from inundating our mental resources. Because all of this information that's coming in, it's like garbage in, garbage out. So basically, if you're getting in a lot of garbage into your mind, it's gonna be a lot of garbage coming out of you as well. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. You can't be planting beautiful seeds and not be getting beautiful trees out, right? So if you plant beautiful seeds into your mind, then you're gonna get beautiful thoughts coming out. But if you're gonna be planting garbage, or if you're gonna be throwing garbage into your mind, just dumping trash into it with no consequence or no thought about the consequence of that trash, then there's going to be trash coming out of your mouth as well. And that's one of the reasons why there is a lot of trash on this planet right now in terms of information. And there's a lot of people who are putting out all this information into the planet where you think to yourself, seriously, is this person actually serious? Do they actually think this way? And unfortunately, the truth is, yes, they actually do think this way. And therefore, that's the reason all this garbage is coming out of their mouth, because all this garbage has been going into their minds as well. Now, I'm not saying necessarily that we need to kind of eliminate all sources of advertising and marketing and just to read pure books and not to watch any TV series or not to watch any movies, or I'm not asking us to become ascetics. I'm not asking us to go to a mountain and hide in a cave so we are not inundated by information. We have to live in the real world and we have to adapt ourselves to the real world. But there are very easy things you can do, and very few of them that you can do in order to ensure that there's not always garbage coming into your into your mind. There's a lot of garbage out there, obviously, and some of it is going to seep through no matter how much you try to prevent it. No matter how much you go into defense mode, there's going to be a little bit of garbage that's going to creep into your mind in any case, in any shape or form, right? If you go on social media, yes, you can unfollow those people who put garbage into your feed. Or if you go on Instagram, yes, you can obviously unsubscribe or unfollow those people who are putting out thoughts that you're like, no, this just does not jive with my thought processes and the way where I am. So you can do all those little things, obviously, unfollow, unsubscribe, and if it's email, make sure that you unsubscribe to all of that crap that's coming at you all the time, all those newsletters and all those mailing lists that you're on that you don't actually really need to be. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your brain space and your brain capacity to be wasting your time on it, right? And so yes, unfollow, unsubscribe, and all that stuff. But also make sure that as much as possible, if you are getting advertising into your system, so if you're watching TV and there's a series that you really absolutely have to watch and it's not on Netflix, so you can't avoid the advertising, if you absolutely have to get at it, then try to make sure that you kind of supplement it with some positive thinking and positive thoughts as well, right? So if you're gonna have a little bit of garbage in your life, if you're gonna have a little bit of trash in your mind coming in and you can't prevent that, the best thing I think is to kind of pile over some good stuff on top of it, right? So my strategy for that obviously is to read a couple of pages of a book that I really care about every single day in order to plant some good seeds. And it's not like, negative thoughts versus positive thoughts. I think you probably know the stat where it says that if you have one negative thought in your mind, it takes about 10 positive thoughts in order to, inundate or to cull over that negative thought, right? That's why negative thoughts are so powerful. And that's why all this trash that's coming at us is so powerful in negating all that positivity that we maintain in our life. It's very easy to watch even 10 minutes of a news channel or any channel on TV and to think that the world is falling apart, right? To believe that everything is going to shit. And yes, perhaps a lot of it is going to shit and a lot of it is going in the direction that we don't want it to, but there's a lot of good news out there as well. There's a lot of positive stuff going on as well, and it's not a good idea just to focus on the negative stuff. As Greta Thunberg says, you act as if your house is on fire. Yes, act as if your house is on fire and do as much as you can. Prevent all the extinction that's happening on this planet, but also realize that there's a lot of good stuff happening as well. There's a lot of people doing positive change, making positive change on this planet, right? So it has to be a balance. Otherwise, all of the people on this planet are going to feel like everything is going to shit and we should just kill ourselves and end it all, right? And that's the kind of state I don't want you guys getting into, because it is very easy to get into that state, to believe that everything is just, everything is going to shit. All the people, all of the negativity is only that's there on the planet, and there's no positive stuff left anymore. So it's actually, as I said, very crucial for us to control the flow of information that's coming at us into our mind and all the trash that's coming into our mind as well. And to make sure that we kind of balance it out. So maybe 10-20% of the information coming at you is trash, and hopefully 80 to 90% is positive thinking or positive thoughts that can help you become that best version of yourself as much as possible. Now, a couple of things that I do in order to make sure that happens for me, and these are easy things to do, as I said. Constantly, I am unsubscribing from random spam and unsubscribing from mailing lists. It's funny because I'll have subscribed to something maybe 10 years ago or maybe 5 years ago, and they're still randomly once a year, once every 2 years sending me messages or emails, right? And so my first instinct, whenever I get an email from something that I'm not interested in, which is most of the cases, I think 99% of the time I am not interested in that item anymore. I used to be the kind of person who was, but I'm not anymore. And so unsubscribe. I am a major advocate of cleaning out your mailbox and unsubscribing to as many things as possible. I just don't like having trash in my mailbox because I look at my mail a lot. I get a lot of emails from obviously you guys and other things as well. And I don't want to be distracted by trash, right? And it's extremely important to realize that your brain power and your brain space is limited, right? So you can only hold one thought in your head at a time. So if you're devoting any time to trash at all, whatever it might be, whatever form it takes, it means you have less time to devote to your other thoughts, the more important thoughts, like figuring out your life purpose, or figuring out what you're here to do, or figuring out what you should be spending your days doing, or figuring out who am I, what am I here for, what is the purpose of life, etc. I mean, the important stuff, right? Things that we're always constantly asking ourselves, but perhaps we get distracted by trash and we stop asking these questions, right? Another thing that I do is I limit my time on social media to an extreme. Now, of course, because I run a lot of different things that I need to be online for, and I need to be on social media for. I want to be on social media for because it's a great platform for marketing to all these interesting individuals all over the world, marketing my YouTube videos, marketing my Udemy courses, marketing my writing, and marketing my blog. So I have a lot of stuff that I want to push out there, and Instagram is a great way to do it, Facebook is a great way to do it, Twitter is a great way to do it. And so I want to stay on it. I don't want to be the person that just kind of exculpates herself, if that's the right word, from all of these interesting and important social media channels. They're not the devil as some people make them out to be. But it becomes the devil if you spend way too much time on it. And so I put on a timer, and I have this app called Rescue Time, which tells me how much time I'm spending on each of these social media channels. And so it gives me an idea of how much time I need to reduce it by and how much I need to spend time on it, etc. Basically, I usually just go on it to post stuff onto my groups and perhaps browse a little bit when I'm in the mood. But besides that, I spend as little time on these social media channels as much as possible. They are a tool but they're not something that I want to use in order to distract myself from reality. Right? Finally, as I've told you guys before, I don't watch TV anymore. I have a TV, as you guys might be able to see behind me. There is a TV in this condo. They gave me a TV with this place. It's a nice TV too, surprisingly. And so I have a TV in my condo, but I've never switched it on, and I never watch TV, never watch news channels for sure, because it's just basically, it's all about hype and all about making you feel miserable. So I don't watch TV anymore. I barely watch Netflix, actually. The last time I watched it was to watch an anime, and that was last year, I think, or earlier. No, last year, yeah, it was last year. So I don't watch Netflix either. I do read mangas, but I do have apps on my phone and my computer, my laptop, called Ad Blocker, which blocks ads from unnecessary people, like ads that I really don't want to see. Now, some websites will require for you to have ads, so that's fine. I don't mind looking at some ads, but I have made sure as much as possible to remove as many ads as possible from my life. Now, also, the final thing I'm going to say about this video is that you have to be careful with information overload. I have this idea in my head that a lot of us are spending way too much time taking in a lot of information, but we don't give ourselves and our minds and our spirits enough time to integrate that information within ourselves. So you might hear something, but before you have the time to integrate it within yourself and to use it properly, you already add another piece of information on top of it. So you're listening to so many podcasts, or reading so many blog posts, or watching too many videos. Although I shouldn't say that, because you guys are watching my videos, so I appreciate your time. But to let it integrate within your system, to give yourself half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever amount of time it might be, to understand the content of the stuff that you're reading or listening to, and let it integrate within yourself so you can actually use it to your benefit. You're not just getting an information for the sake of listening to information, but you're actually using it for your benefit, which is the whole point of this, right? Information on its own is just garbage, it's trash. But if you actually are able to use it in order to enhance your life, then it's actually useful, all right? So that's the final thing I wanted to say on this subject. So you really have to defend yourself as if you are a military, and you have to defend yourself. You have to have weapons and equipment and tools in order to protect yourself from all of this negative and trashy information that's coming at you, all right? If you guys have any questions about this or any other topics that I've done, please message me anytime. All my contact information is in the description below, and I shall see you guys in the next time around. Bye for now.